Hello and welcome back to the Exploration 101 or Introduction to Exploration. In this last part of the lesson, you will learn the basics of hacking, which is the minigame you have to go through in order to crack the cans in the relic data sites. That will then allow you to take the loot out of them and earn your ISK. Let's get right into it. We have, of course, the data and relic sites we can scan. However, for the use of this lesson, I will use stations because you can, without getting any repercussions of getting concorded or getting in trouble, use your data analyzer on any player-owned structure. That will allow you to train the hacking minigame, and it will allow you to if you succeed, look at the reinforcement timer of said structure, which means when would the timer, if you were to reinforce that structure, go down more or less, so you can plan your offensive. So let's lock the structure, which will cancel my tether. As you can see, I was tethered, so I was invulnerable before that, but I'm not anymore, and hit the data analyzer. And this will always spawn the hacking minigame window, which can be easier or tougher depending on the structure. Athanors and the small structures like Raitarus will of course have easier hacks, while we Tatara, Fortizar and others will have tougher ones. I'm starting with the tougher one because it will have more obstacles, so it will be easier to show off everything. First of all, we will start in the lower left corner with our attributes. On the left hand side we have virus coherence, which is the HP that we have for the hacking minigame, and virus strength, which is our strength with which we will be attacking any defensive modules, defensive subsystems. One rule of this game is that you always attack first. If you kill something before it can hit you back, you will not take any damage. And as you can see, we have started over here in the upper left corner. So let's get to hacking. We have two possible nodes to click into. So if you click on one, as you can see, it shows a number 5, which means we are 5 or more nodes away from anything, be it a defensive subsystem, a utility subsystem, or the core that we want to get into, because the name of the game is get into the system core and destroying it without losing yourself. And once you get that, you will get the prize. In this scenario, it will be the timer. In the scenario of the cans, it would be being able to take the loot out. So let's keep hacking. We're at 4, 3, 2, 2 again, and we hit our first defensive subsystem, which is the restoration node. It has 80 HP, 10 attack strength. So this one will, if there are any uncovered other defensive subsystems, it will keep healing them for 20 HP a turn. So you need to kill it as soon as possible. So we click it twice. As you can see, for the first time I took 10 HP damage, which then, since I killed it before it was able to do anything to me, I didn't take any damage anymore. And then we hit the jackpot, which is our utility subsystem. First of them is the self-repair. If I hit it, I will start healing by 5 HP per throughout 3 turns. This differs depending on the difficulty or where you get them. So this one is good to actually take right away and start using it to get the HP. Another utility subsystem we will have that might show up over here is kernel rot, which basically hits the defensive subsystems by 50% of their current HP, and you do not get any hit back. So it's very good to take down anything with a lot of hit points. there will be also a polymorphic shield, which takes 2 hits for you, secondary vector that deals 60 damage over 3 turns, and you do not take any hits. And there will be also data caches, which we'll try to get. And this is a data cache. You don't know what it is until you click it. However, there is a 60% chance of this being a defensive node instead of a utility subsystem. So it is better to take them only if you're desperate and you just need that one push to try getting through the core. Let's click it, and this time it is the polymorphic shield. As you can see, it will protect you from 3 attacks, which is outdated text because it does take only 2 hits, not 3. And let's keep exploring. So we are at 4, 5, so this route there is nothing. Let's go here, and we have another node, another one, another node. Wow, okay, and another restoration node. Let's kill it. And here we have the antivirus. They have moderate HP but very high damage because they deal 40 damage, and that's regardless of the difficulty of the hack. They will always deal 40 damage. With the difficulty, the only thing that changes is their own HP. So we'll take the shield, take 1 hit on the shield, and kill them with the other one, still having 1 shield left, which we'll use up on this restoration node. And the next thing that we'll see is the firewalls. They increase their HP depending on the difficulty of the hack, but they always deal 20 damage only. Let's try to kill this one by taking 2 hits and keep going. We'll have one jump around here, and it is a restoration node. So let's take the HP. As you can see, this time it heals us by 10 HP, and here we have the system core. As you could see before, and let's try to find something that will trigger it. That's perfect. We have our last defensive subsystem. This subsystem, as you can see, is a virus suppressor. It will lower our attack from 40 to 25. If you trigger more of them, they will put you down to 10 attack strength. And those are great to kill with the secondary vector, as you can see, because they only have 60 HP and 15 strength. That is fixed. They always have that those stats. And as you can see, whenever I trigger this one, it blocks stuff around itself. So you cannot click anything through here. So defensive subsystems will always block the area around them. Apart from the system core, as you can see, you can click around it, but if there would be a defensive subsystem here, it will block you from using the core and attacking it. So keep that in mind when you're exploring. And there are 2 rules to abide by when it comes to doing exploration. First of all, as a general rule of thumb, it is good to go more or less diagonal. So if I were to do it not as a show for this lesson, but exploring by myself, I would try to dart to this side of the map here, because the system core usually goes diagonally from where you start. And the other thing is the rule of 6s. So as you can see, we have a node here which has 6 connections. You can travel through them without being disturbed. Nothing will be there 90% of the time. The only time when some defensive subsystem will be in those nodes is when the system core is 1 jump away. So if you find a defensive subsystem in such 6 connected node, you know that in one of those there is a system core. So now, since we have lower strength, we will take just more hits, but we can still kill it. We'll kill the core, and in this scenario we get the timer of a structure. However, that is basically it when it comes to hacking. They can only be more or less difficult depending on the types of sites you enter, depending on the security of the system where you're going, because in high sec you will usually get only easy hacks with firewalls and antiviruses, and the lower in security you go, the more difficult the hacks will be, but the better results, of course, and the prizes you will get from it. And as I said, you can basically warp to any player structure in game and test the hacking out and get more comfortable with doing it before you jump right into the hacking. However, since there's not much more to say, that will be it for the Exploration 101. I hope you learned something from this little series, and I also hope to see you on the next videos. See you!